Welcome everybody to another film review of a release that is hardly new. Like I stated with the Akira review that I did earlier this year, um, I am going to be looking at other film releases that I've gotten as of late or in the past that I haven't looked at. Aren't technically all that new in terms of releases, but I really do feel like are worth a review. And yeah, this is certainly one of them. It's a 4K Criterion Collection release, and it is 1944's Double Indemnity. So this release was first printed in the UK in 2024. Probably was released a little bit earlier than that in the likes of America, but it is directed by Billy Wilder, who we talked about last year with the 4K releases of The Apartment and Sunset Boulevard, and it is a film noir that clocks in at 108 minutes long. Stars like Sir Fred MacMurray, who was also in The Apartment, as well as Remember the Night and Fair Winter Java. Also stars Barbara Stanwyck, who was also in Remember the Night with McMurray. That was their first ever collaboration together. They'd go on to collaborate two more times after this one. They were in a 3D Western that is currently slipping my mind in terms of what it was called, but they were also in the Douglas Sirk directed film There's Always Tomorrow. But she was also in the fantastic films 40 Guns, Sorry Wrong Number, and No Man of Her Own. And finally stars Edward G. Robinson, who was in The Stranger, Key Largo, Scarlet Street, and The Sea Wolf and Soylent Green. So, a seductive housewife draws an insurance salesman into a plot of adultery and crime to collect on her husband's insurance. So, although this isn't quite my favourite film noir, there are about 5 other films in that genre that I'd rank in terms of overall rating higher than this one. Whether or not other films that I've rated the same as this would go above this or not is something I haven't contemplated, because the genre is, yeah, a film genre that I've seen a lot of films from. Um, but yeah, it is undoubtedly a film that it helped set the standard for future films in the genre, and it is still a great effort despite a couple of slight reservations that I have. So it has a predominantly great cast, a superb cinematography, an engrossing plot, a well-written script that neatly balances characterization with the intricate detailing regarding the planning of the murder, and a cracking score. This manages to be a thoroughly entertaining effort throughout. Just a shame though that the narrative structures deflate some of the tension, as Fred MacMurray's character starts off, in the future events of in the current present, and then the narrative structure flips back to how we got into the situation that he's in at the moment. So yeah, that deflates a little bit of the tension, because you know full well that he's going to survive most of the events, survive the events leading up to where the film starts. And the actor who plays Robinson's boss isn't all that good, but thankfully he is only in one scene. So this still ultimately gets 4.5 out of 5, despite those couple of issues that I have. And yeah, this is a fantastic 4K release from the Criterion Collection. Um, got this on sale with another 4K film that I am going to be looking at, and that is Le Samurai. So that will be a future review. But yeah, still, fantastic film. Got your 4K, you got your film on Blu-ray, and then you got your Blu-ray extras on there. And yeah, we also have a booklet with this release. As per usual, it is a fold-out one from Criterion. So there's a lot of smoking in this film, by the way. So yeah, you got your cast and your crew there. Then you've got the Black Heart of Double Indemnity by Angelica. Is that Jade Bastine? Yeah, it's more clearly written on the back of the box there, and we've got a reverse shot there as well on the booklet. And in terms of the disc, we've got a new 4K digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. And yeah, the 4K is excellent. It's one of the better 1940s 4Ks that I've seen. Um, so you got on the 4K Ultra HD disc, the film is presented in Dolby Vision HDR, and 2 Blu-rays, like I said, one with the film and the special features. Audio commentary featuring film critic Richard Schickel, new interview with film scholar Noah Eisenberg, editor of Billy Wilder on assignment. You got a new conversation between film historians Eddie Mueller and Imogen Sarah Smith. You got Billy, How Did You Do It, a 1992 film by Volker Schlondorf and Gisela Grisho, featuring interviews with director Billy Wilder. Then you got Shadows of Suspense, a 2006 documentary on the making of Double Indemnity. Radio adaptations from 1945 and 1950. I do believe McMurray and Stanwyck did the 45 version of this, and then a trailer as well as English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. So yeah, plenty of extras on the discs there, but yeah, also just a great film in general, really, to be honest, and one that I do highly recommend, especially if you are willing to get into the film noir genre for the first time. Like I said, there are about 5 other ones that I would recommend slightly higher than this. Off the top of my head, I think they are The Maltese Falcon, Sweet Smell of Success, Kiss Me Deadly, oh, and there's a couple of others that I'm just slipping my mind, but yeah, no, I don't think I've ever done a top 10 best film noirs that I own. Maybe that's something I'll do in the future if you're interested in that. But regardless, fantastic effort in this genre, and like I said, it helped set the standard for the time. Obviously, there were film noirs before this, either ones that were proto film noirs in terms of the late 1930s that had elements of the genre, or you had obviously films before this like The Maltese Falcon, but still an excellent effort, and yeah, definitely one of my favorites in the genre, even if not quite my absolute favorite. But still, thank you for watching. If you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, but nonetheless, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.